Want your marketing to fit in, and when do you want it to stand out? The very easy assumption to make as a marketer is that we want our marketing to stand out, to grab attention, right? But when you grab attention for attention's sake, when you're just loud so people will pay attention to you, and it could be visually loud or it could be auditorily loud, that actually it gets the wrong kind of attention. And that standing out for the sake of standing out, actually it can attract some of your core audience, but it often will turn off more people than it actually gets excited about your messaging. What direct marketers have learned and have been practicing for decades now is that when you can fit in with the other kind of content that people are consuming in the media that you are that you're advertising in, that's often the very best way to actually make sure that you get attention on your sales message. If they are already consuming other content in this media, and your sales message looks like the content in this media, it actually gets that initial attention just as well as trying to stand out. Now, as far as your message itself, you want your message, your idea, to stand out as the most interesting message, the most interesting idea. But you don't do that just by being loud. You do that by making sure that you are nailing and you've really nailed down that most interesting hook or message or appeal or idea that you can put forward to open up your selling presentation. But for example, on a Facebook ad, right? You don't want your Facebook ad to read like loud copywriting, like a big promise headline, etc. If you can even get it through compliance, it's still not going to get the attention of the average Facebook scroller. It's not going to stop the scroll, right? What you want is something that looks and feels like the best Facebook post that your friends are going to post all day. You want something that looks and feels like a Facebook post that gets a lot of love and attention. You want something that looks and feels like just interesting content that somebody put out organically, right? And when your Facebook ads look and feel like Facebook posts, they're going to get engaged with like Facebook posts, and that's huge, right? That's huge. That gives you a automatic attention that comes from, hey, I'm scrolling Facebook to look at Facebook posts. I'm not scrolling Facebook to look at Facebook ads. So this thing that looks like a Facebook post, I'm going to pay attention. And then if the idea stands out, if the idea is interesting, if what's being delivered in the messaging is powerful, yeah, then I'm going to be pulled in and I won't care if it's an ad or not. Likewise, like going back, I keep this on my desk. I've had this on my desk for quite some time. This is Gary Bencivenga's Doctor's Vest Pocket Sampler of Natural Remedies. And this was actually Gary Bencivenga. This was a promotion that mailed profitably 100 million pieces, or at appropriate economics. They might have been trying to acquire customers at break even. So 100 million times this went out in the mail. And one of the reasons that it worked was because it looked like a lot of direct mail that was going out in the 90s for like just interesting information that you might have actually invested in, like a magazine or like a little like Reader's Digest type thing. So this shows up in your mailbox and you're like, oh, did I buy this? Oh, I'm going to check this out. I'm going to look at it and see, what's in it. I mean, it even says $4.95 value. So it actually, the messaging stood out as being powerful copy, right? The message, Doctor's Vest Pocket Sampler of Natural Remedies, no more drugs, no more surgery, no more disease. That was interesting, right? The messaging stood out, but it also, the mail piece actually fit in, and it's not particularly like loud in terms of formatting or in terms of of how the copy is presented, right? In fact, Doctor's Vest Pocket Sampler of Natural Remedies does not feel like it's over the top, right? So the messaging, like the ideas stand out, but the presentation, the media, the design, the layout, it fits in. And so just like bouncing around here, you go to a news site and you're scrolling through, you're reading the news, there's links to other news articles on the site, and then suddenly you hit like Taboola ads, or you hit Outbrain ads, you hit these ad network ads. And the way that they're structured with a graphic and a headline really just makes them look like they're another news article that you can click on. And that's part of why they get so many clicks. That's part of why these ad networks have grown so much, because they're designed to look like the next news article that you might click on when you're scrolling a news site. And so when they have a bunch of these ads showing up on a news site, it's actually by fitting in that they stand out. Now, the idea is the headline that you write should stand out and be the most interesting headline on the page, right? But it works by fitting in. And so when you think about this, when you think about like, how can I make sure that my advertising gets the most attention, the best attention, you don't necessarily want to be noisy. You don't want to be just loud. And I'm talking visually, auditorily, whatever, right? You want it to feel as much as possible like other content that your prospect is consuming in the media that your advertising is going to appear in. Magazine and print, like newspaper ads that are advertorials, they're designed to sell like an ad, but are written like an editorial. And so they look like an article. The same thing, like advertorial landing pages are created for running on those ad networks like Taboola and Outbrain, where you click and it actually does kind of read like an article, but then it slowly unfolds that it is pointing you towards an advertisement, right? An offer. So again, like you're just looking for the way, how can I fit into this media? And how can I make what I'm doing come across as any other piece of content that would normally be in that media, so that I'm getting the type of readership that people are giving to content, not to advertising. And then once they get into it and they discover, oh, this great idea is actually linked to an advertisement, they'll probably be open to it at that point. And this is what works best in direct response. And I would encourage you to try as a copywriter, even though you're applying the principle of, hey, this has to lead to an action. This has to lead my prospect to want to take an action at the end. Think in terms of how you open up and how you initially present your content to make it look more like content. And you will probably be very pleased with the result. My name is Roy Furr. This has been a video issue of Breakthrough Marketing Secrets. I'd love it if you'd leave a comment with this video and let me know on a scale of 1 to 10 how valuable you found it and why. What's your takeaway? What's your action item? How is this going to impact how you approach your advertising? Also, tap that like button before you go so you get more content like this delivered to you. So the magical algorithms of the internet will share it with more people like you who will find it valuable. You can certainly share it with folks directly, and subscribe before you go. Subscribe here. You can also go to breakthroughmarketingsecrets.com. Get my daily emails Monday through Friday, including these videos and more exclusive content for email subscribers. Again, Roy Furr for Breakthrough Marketing Secrets. I always aim for 10 out of 10 value. I hope that I've delivered it here, and I look forward to seeing you again in your next video issue. I'll see you soon. Bye.